Thank you. Okay, questions? Yes, go ahead. I've called on somebody else. Go ahead. We're having a press conference. Thank you. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. And you should respect free speech. What's the question? What's the question? What's the question? I can't hear you because we have someone who doesn't respect the rights of their colleagues over here. I'd love to talk with you. Wait. I'd love to talk with you. Come to my office, okay?
You have an obligation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about it. I've been doing that. We did that before the shutdown began. We went to the White House. We went and sat in front of the Resolute desk. We brought Leader Jeffries and Leader Schumer in, and we had a discussion. The president said, please don't shut the government down. It would cause all this pain to the American people. This has never happened before. It's a clean, nonpartisan CR that every Democrat, including you, voted no on September 19th. You voted to shut down the government. You voted to stop SNAP benefits. You voted to not pay the troops, not pay TSA, Border Patrol. You may regret it now, but that's your vote, and it's on the record. So the president had us in, and they didn't want to have a dialogue or debate. They thumbed their nose in it at him, and he had to do it. Appreciate it. Thanks for your input. Somebody give me a question that's real. Well, he and I talked about it early this morning. We woke up very early, and we talked about the outcome. And I reminded him that, as we know from history, those of us who watch these things very closely and always do, that an off-year election is not indicative of what happens next. I mean, look at Virginia, for example. Glenn Youngkin won his race for governor, and then the Democrats, the opposing party, did very well in the upcoming midterm election. These off-year elections are about different things, different dynamics. In Northern Virginia, there are a lot of federal employees. They're probably pretty upset, and they should blame the Democrats for that because, as we noted today, 15 different times Republicans in Congress, Senate and House, voted to open the government, and the Democrats, like our colleague who just tried to interrupt us here, voted to close it down. So it's very clear who's responsible for this, and I think that when we go into next year in the midterms, we're very bullish about the outcome. We have an extraordinary record to run on. You mentioned, Leader Scalise mentioned sort of what we call the split screen here, and I'll remind you all again, under President Trump and Republicans, we have had an extraordinary run. The first 9 months of this, 9 months, the 10th month has been shut down because of the Democrats. The first 9 months of this Congress and this administration, arguably the most productive of all time. We cut taxes, cut regulations, cut waste, fraud, and abuse in government. We solved the border crisis, which was the #1 issue on the ballot last fall. We're solving the crime crisis around the country. We've got American energy dominance revved and going again. We have new trade agreements that are more favorable to Americans, which will ultimately bring down costs. We have put real reforms into the Medicaid program to strengthen it, because we've got people who are ineligible recipients, like illegal aliens and young able-bodied men without dependents, off the program so that the disabled, the elderly, and young pregnant women can have the resources they need. The president is literally solving wars around the globe. I think we're up to 9. All of that is on one side of the screen. What are the Democrats on the other side of the screen? A government shutdown. What did they accomplish in 9 months? Interruptions. They've assaulted ICE officers. They have spurred on political violence, and they closed down the government, which is their most basic duty and responsibility. I think the American people are smart. I think they will understand this, and I think the midterm is going to be a great one for us. We had a demographic shift in 2024. We have a very favorable election map on the Republican side, and it will be even more favorable once all the redistricting stuff is settled out. We have Democrats who are flailing. They have no leader. Their national leader now, as we've noted, is Mondami. He's a communist. Good luck with that. I don't think the loss last night was any reflection about Republicans at all. I think people are frustrated and angry, as we are. I am. The president is. And we express that different ways. But look, we look forward. We're looking forward to a great election running on our record. And we're gonna get all of our incumbents reelected, and we're going to add to the number here. So that's the answer. Yes. No, I look, the question is, President Trump wasn't on the ballot. He's right about that. He and I spoke about that again, but I told him this morning what we've talked about many times and what I've said here before. The president is on the ballot in 2026. President Trump is on the ballot next fall. Because if we lose the majority, if the Republicans, the common sense people here who are doing the job for the American people, if we lose the majority in the House and this radical element of the Democratic Party were able to take over, we've already seen that movie. They will try to end the Trump administration. He won't have 4 years, he'll have only 2, because they will move to impeach him probably on the first day of the new Congress in January 2027. And they will try to systematically unwind all the important reforms that we've done for the American people, to lower costs, to have a better quality of living, on healthcare, to increase access and quality of care. We are the party that is doing that, and the president needs 4 years to complete his agenda, not just 2. So he is in a very real sense on the ballot. He's fiercely committed to us winning. He is going to help. He's offered to do rallies and to town halls and all the things. He's sent out a huge round of endorsements of incumbents, Republican incumbents, just over the last few days. He is very much engaged, very dialed in, and he understands the stakes. President Trump is on the ballot in 2026, and we're looking forward to that contest. Yes, sir. Well, the economy and healthcare are 2 of the primary issues in the country, clearly, and that's why we are delighted to run on our record. We are addressing that. We are delivering for the people. We are fulfilling our promises. President Trump got more votes, by the way, in Virginia and New Jersey than either of the 2 governor candidates, the Democrats there. And one of the things that we ran on was improving these. We passed the American Families Tax Cut, the big beautiful bill, and got it signed into law on July 4th. Many of those provisions will be coming into play now. It was filled with pro-growth policies. The people standing behind me all worked individually and collectively very hard on that legislation. And the American people are going to feel the positive effects of that before they vote next fall. We did it early enough so that the economic effects could be felt. And you're going to see costs go down and quality of life improve. Our policies lead to that. Socialism does not. Socialism does not lower costs. It doesn't lead to lower cost. It leads to human misery. It leads to the decay of society. It has happened everywhere. When the socialists, Mondami, and the Democrats here, Leader Jeffries apparently is a socialist now. He endorsed Mondami. He owns the results there. But when they come out and they go out into their districts next year and they try to tell people that socialism is the way of the future, anyone who studies history will tell them the opposite. The AOC and Bernie and Mondami and Jeffries, they don't tell people that when government takes control of everything, you have to give up your freedom, your liberty, your opportunity, your security are yielded to the government, and that the government controls everything. You don't have choices anymore. You don't have incentive. You don't have human dignity, because we represent and we respect the individual inherent value of every single person. We don't judge anybody by the color of their skin or what zip code they live in or whatever. We are all Americans. The socialists and the Marxists divide us into camps, and they value you not as an individual, but on the merits of the group that you are collected into. And they will take away everything from you as they promise to give you everything. It's a lie. It has led to the murder of tens of millions of innocent people in the 20th century alone. That is not who we are in America. And we are proud to go out and run on our record and on those truths of the founding principles of the country, because that's what's going to save us. Olivia. I don't have anything to do with redistricting. The Speaker of the House, people think, are in charge of everything. This is a state-by-state battle. We do believe at the end of the day that we will net more seats for the Republican Party than the Democrat Party. I mean, everybody, that's the analysis. I'll make a comment about the tragedy in California last night. What California did is very, very different, as you all know, by comparison to what a state like Texas did. Texas was following the federal and state constitution, following their state law and redistricting. California was not. They had to trample over their own state law, over their own independent redistricting commission that they had all put into place. It was a desperation, a sign of desperation on the Democrat Party. It was a game to try to rig the election, as if you could gerrymander California anymore. They managed to do it. I mean, there's like 53 representatives from California. We had 9. They want us to have 3. I mean, it's just a blatant example of Gavin Newsom's immoral leadership and the fact that they will do anything to try to rig the system to win. They know that they cannot win on their policies. They know that they don't have a national leader other than the Marxists now to try to set the tone and guide the course. And so they're going to try to rig the game. We're going to win that anyway. We're bullish. We're gonna fight like warrior poets in California, and we're gonna make sure that our Republicans get reelected. And we're gonna do that all around the country, and we're gonna continue to move forward, pursuing the America First agenda, delivering on our promises, and making this country great again. That's what we're committed to, and we'll continue to do it. Thank you.
All right.